The courtroom was a pressure cooker, the air thick with anticipation. Two officers, brimming with arrogance just hours ago, now stood ashen-faced, their confidence shattered. The younger one, trembling, collapsed to his knees, stammering apologies. Every eye, every camera, was fixed on David Carter, who stood resolute, his voice steady but sharp enough to slice through the tension. "I am the Attorney General of this state," he declared. The room froze, as if the world itself had hit pause. Earlier that evening, David Carter, 36, was a man of conviction. A prominent attorney and staunch Republican, he thrived on principles, never shying away from a fight for justice. That night, he had just finished speaking at a charity gala, where his bold address on reforming the justice system had split the crowd. Some cheered, others scoffed. David didn't care. He wasn't there to please everyone. Dressed in a tailored suit and his signature red MAGA hat, he crossed the dimly lit parking lot toward his car. The city hummed faintly, streetlights casting a tired glow. As he reached for his keys, heavy footsteps closed in behind him, deliberate, too close. Turning, David faced two police officers. The older one, a burly man with a scowl etched into his face, radiated authority he relished. The younger officer, smirking, looked like he was auditioning for a role in a bad cop drama. "Evening, gentlemen," David said, his tone calm but firm. "Can I help you?" The older cop didn't bother with pleasantries. "What are you doing here?" he snapped, eyes flicking to David's hat then his car. "We got a call about someone suspicious loitering. That someone looks like you." David's brow furrowed. "Suspicious?" "I'm heading to my car. Is there a problem?" The younger cop stepped forward, his voice dripping with unwarranted bravado. "Empty your pockets. Now." David's temper flared, but he kept it in check. "I've done nothing wrong. I'd appreciate not being treated like a criminal without cause." The older cop snorted. "Don't get smart, or you'll regret it." Before David could respond, the younger officer grabbed his arm, shoving him face first onto the hood of his car. Cold handcuffs snapped onto his wrists. "This is my car," David protested, his voice rising. "Check the plates, they match my ID." The officers ignored him. The younger one circled the car, sneering. "Yeah, right. We'll sort you out at the station. Maybe next time, think twice about hanging around places you don't belong." Humiliation burned as they pushed David into the patrol car. Through the window, he caught his reflection, disheveled, restrained, furious. His career was built on fighting for justice, yet here he was, treated like a common criminal for existing in the wrong place, wearing the wrong hat. As the car sped off, David's mind raced. The officers had no idea the storm they'd unleashed. The police station reeked of stale coffee and arrogance. The officers shoved David into a holding cell, their smugness palpable. The older one leaned against the bars, grinning. "So, Mr. Big Shot, think that hat's gonna save you?" "Nobody's bailing you out." The younger cop piled on, relishing the moment. "Another entitled Republican who thinks the rules don't apply. Bet he's used to getting his way." David sat on the metal bench, jaw clenched, refusing to take the bait. The cell soon filled with other detainees, some eyeing his suit and hat with hostility. A wiry man with tattoos sneered. "What are you, some corporate hotshot? Or just think that hat makes you cool?" David stayed silent, but inside, he seethed. His right to a phone call was delayed, with flimsy excuses, processing, priorities, whatever. It was deliberate, and he knew why. They wanted to break him. By morning, David, still cuffed, was marched into a courtroom thick with tension. The judge, an older man with a stern face and a worn gavel, scanned the room with impatience. The officers presented their case with confidence. "We have a witness who saw him lurking around cars," the older cop lied smoothly. "And he resisted arrest," the younger added, nodding eagerly. The prosecutor painted David as a shady figure with no business in the lot. The court-appointed attorney, overworked and underprepared, struggled to counter the narrative. David sat silently, his calm exterior masking the fire within. He let the charade unfold, waiting for his moment. The judge, visibly annoyed, leaned forward. "State your name and occupation for the record." David stood, his posture unwavering. "My name is David Carter," he said, his voice cutting through the room. He paused, locking eyes with the officers. "I am the Attorney General of this state." The courtroom gasped. The older officer's face strained of color, the younger stumbled back, panic replacing his smirk. The judge blinked, adjusting his glasses. "You're the Attorney General?" he asked, his tone shifting to respect. "That's correct," David replied, his voice razor-sharp. "And now, I'd like to address the gross abuse of power I endured last night." Whispers erupted as spectators processed the bombshell. The officers stood frozen, dread etched into their faces. David turned to them, his voice steady but laced with fury. "Your actions, profiling, wrongful arrest, fabricating evidence, aren't just a violation of my rights. They're a betrayal of the public you swore to serve." The older officer stammered. "Sir, we didn't know, it wasn't personal." "Not personal?" David snapped, his voice rising. "You made it personal when you decided I didn't belong in that lot because of my hat, my beliefs." The younger officer, trembling, dropped to his knees. "Please, Mr. Attorney General, it was a mistake. We didn't mean harm." David's gaze didn't waver. "Your mistake could have ruined an innocent life. How many others have suffered your recklessness?" The older officer, resigned, muttered an apology. The room fell silent, the officer's humiliation complete. David faced the judge. "Your Honor, I trust this court will investigate these officers' conduct. I'll personally ensure justice is served." The judge nodded, his earlier irritation gone. "You have my word, Mr. Attorney General." As David exited the courtroom, camera flashes and reporters' shouts greeted him. One called out, "Mr. Carter, what's next?" David paused, his voice resolute. "This is just the beginning. If this can happen to me, it can happen to anyone. I'll make sure it doesn't." The footage spread like wildfire, the image of the officers begging becoming a symbol of accountability. For David, it was more than vindication, it was a call to action. Stepping into the sunlight, he knew the fight for justice was far from over, but he was ready. "What do you think?" Was David's response too harsh, or did the officers deserve their public reckoning? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's debate. Where do you stand on justice versus mercy in cases like this? Smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell to join the conversation.